Is this thing on? Today I want to answer the question burning on everyone's minds these days. Which is better, a cheap desk-mounted microphone boom stand, or an even cheaper one made from an Ikea desk lamp? I bought this mic stand from an online Chinese supplier for around $13, and that's dirt cheap for this kind of thing. My primary mic at my desk is an old-style Rode NT1. If you buy the desk stand that Rode manufactures, you're looking at a price at around $100. While visiting Ikea with my wife one day, I picked up a couple of their Tertial desk lamps for $8.99 each. It's funny, the mic stand and the desk lamp are nearly identical from a mechanical point of view, but the lamp is just executed a lot better. The motion is much smoother, it's easier to adjust, it just stays more or less where you put it. Whereas the mic stand has a very clunky movement and a limited range of motion. With the mic stand, the biggest flaw is the desk mount itself. The stand is wobbly in the mount, which keeps it from operating smoothly. Compare this to the lamp mount. The post sits on this raised block. The post fits well, and it operates smoothly. It also offers more mounting options. You could use these 4 holes to screw it to a horizontal surface or a vertical surface like a wall. So let's convert this thing to a mic stand. The first thing to do is de-lamp the lamp. First, we'll take out the bolt that holds the lamp head on. With a little pressure, the head will pop off. And we'll cut the lamp cord. And we'll pull the cord out. What we need for this project is some way to connect the shock mount to the desk lamp's arm. I realize that not everyone would have the perfect piece from an old mic stand sitting around, but I happen to have just the right thing from this old mic stand that I'm replacing. I wanted to reuse this little post because it already has the right size threaded rod to screw onto the shock mount. If you don't happen to have something like this sitting around, we'll talk about other options you have here in a minute. Okay, so now we'll remove the mic and the shock mount from the old mic stand. We'll use some pliers to remove a little nut and bolt that are holding on the post that I want to reuse. And I'll also reuse these little metal brackets that grip the post. I'll remove the cable ties and the cable. And then we can just get rid of the old mic arm. Okay, so we're ready to mount the desk lamp arm to the desk. This riser block sits on the desktop, or like I mentioned before, you could screw it to just about anything. I'm using the included clamp. The arm just sits in the hole in the riser block. And now we just need to basically bolt these bits and pieces back together. Using the bolt that came with the lamp, I'll run the bolt through. I found that I needed to add a washer to fill a little extra space because the desk lamp's arm is slightly wider than the old mic stand's arm. And this part was really fiddly, and I dropped everything a couple of times until I got it put together right. And then I'll add the thumb knob to tighten it up. And I added the microphone. And it looks a little droopy. Oh, well that's because 2 of the springs that come with the lamp didn't come pre-installed for some reason. So I'll add those 2 springs. And I'll plug in the mic cable. And I'll use some zip ties to keep the cable out of the way. And we're done. It operates really smoothly, and it has a much broader range of motion than the old mic stand. So as I was saying before, if you don't happen to have a post like this one sitting around, here are a couple of options. The lamp has this little post and bracket that holds on the lamp head. You could just take out these 2 small screws and remove the head. You could flatten out this little bracket with some pliers and then screw on just about anything you want. If you have woodworking tools, you could make just about anything to attach here. Something else I considered doing was using a rotary tool or a hacksaw to cut this post off right below the bracket, and then use epoxy to attach a little adapter that came with one of my mics. That would have worked well too, but as it turned out I didn't need to modify any of the parts that I had to make it all work together. So there you go. It couldn't have been much easier. If you have access to an Ikea store, these lamps are $9 and they're very hackable. Oh, and I guess they work just fine as lamps too. I try to post videos about once a month or more often when I can, so make sure to subscribe for future project videos. I've got several more in the pipeline. Thanks for watching.